Welcome back to Coffee and Cream, a podcast where we are changing the narrative one cup of coffee at a time. My name's Jake, and I'm here with Matt.
What is going on, my brother?
How you doing?
Bro, we in season 2?
We're in season 2, really?
Yeah.
19 episodes.
Yeah, bro.
We're here at number 20.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to think that this has been over a year now.
I know. We started, our first episode launched January. Well, when was that? I think that was January 14th of last year, I
think so, yeah.
Yeah, and we're here.
Yeah.
For season 2, 2019, looking ahead towards what's coming up.
Bro.
But first, I got to think about what happened before. But first off, man, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
Life changes are happening.
Talk about that.
Man, I got engaged.
Yes, you did.
I got engaged over the winter break.
I was there.
It was awesome. Jake helped film it. There was a lot of tears on everybody's side.
Yeah,
bro.
it's okay. You can cry.
I cried I still cry every time I think about it, man. It was just awesome. But yeah, I got engaged to my lovely future wife, my fiance.
Mm-hmm. Which we want to get her on the show, too.
Yeah.
Talk about y'all's relationship. That's, spoiler alert, coming up for 2019.
Yeah.
Want to have that coming up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. It would be great to talk about like where God has brought us both, both in our personal relationship with each other and then with dealing with racial things happening around us, man. It's so good to walk with her through that.
Yeah, so you got a date?
We do have a date. We're looking in October 2019.
Woo!
Yeah. Little time to plan, which is good because I love planning things.
Yeah.
To the point where it can be a little bit of an idol that I confess that in a sermon I preach. But
okay. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been so fun. But I'm gonna say this: planning a wedding is sanctifying.
Yeah.
It is super sanctifying. Mm-hmm. Like I always had dreams of planning a wedding. I thought, it'll be so much fun.
Wait, okay, you're one of the dudes who like dreamed about their wedding. All right,
unashamedly.
that's fine.
Unashamedly, I dreamed about my wedding. I used to think about it and used to think, man, it's gonna be so fun to plan this, think this, and get into it. And like not even a full month into planning, I'm just like, this is the most sanctifying thing I've gone through yet in our relationship. Because
normally it's like, because going through that planning process is very sanctifying because you're having to juggle a lot of stuff. You're having to juggle family. Mm-hmm. You're having to juggle where the venue's going to be. You're having to juggle like who to invite, who not to invite.
And that's hard for me, man. That's hard because I love everybody.
Because you just want to bring everybody.
I'm a 2 on the Enneagram. The more people, the better, bro.
You're a universalist in this area. Let's bring everybody into the wedding feast. Come on.
We're about to hear the gospel. Everyone needs to hear the gospel anyway for this wedding. And let's just bring everyone in. And then you look at your budget and you're like, man. Love y'all. Text you later.
Yeah.
But no, man, sanctification's been so good through it, man. Yeah. Just, we had a good conversation about it last night and just, the Lord is constantly chiseling, you know? Yeah. I love that about him. Mm-hmm. And I not only in the engagement that he chisels, but in the dating and then also through this podcast, he's done a lot of chiseling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's been good so far.
Good.
What about you, man? How you doing?
Well, really good, actually. Came out of a very, very crazy December. It was just like, that was a sanctifying month for both my wife and I. And just like a lot of stuff happened that we didn't expect to happen and that we had to kind of pivot around and figure out how we're going to make something work. And so just a lot of stuff happening, really just a crazy, crazy busy month. And so I'm like you, I love the plan. Yeah. And I just felt like I couldn't get anything done because I didn't know kind of where things were and how things were getting done. Yes. And the to-do list kind of stayed the same. And I'm just like, I looked at it and I was like, nothing's getting done. Close, put the phone away, go to bed. Like that's just, I couldn't get anything done. And so it's hard because we're also planning for a baby. Yeah. Have we announced that? We announced that, right? Yeah, a couple episodes ago.
But, man, you can announce it again and again, man. It's your first
We're having
kid.
a baby.
Bro, that's
a little
awesome.
girl.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Did I tell you that?
I didn't know that.
Surprise, everybody. We're having a girl.
Hey, okay.
Did you not watch the gender reveal on Facebook?
Bro.
It shows how good of a friend you are then.
Here's the thing. Like, sanctification means I don't spend as much time on social media as I used to. All right. And I'm just saying, I thought you might tell me in person.
Oh,
I'm not throwing shade.
Don't throw that back on me. I threw it. Don't put it back in my court. It's your court now.
No, it's not in my court. I don't even own a court. I live in an apartment building, bro. I don't own a court.
My court's won by one.
Yeah,
what are you
right.
talking about? Yeah, we're having a little girl.
Praise God.
Yeah, her name's Romy. Romy Beatrix. So
I want to know how you picked the name, but I know you can tell me later.
no, hey, no, it's fine. Romy is actually her grandfather's name.
Ah,
It means dew of the sea.
oh,
Actually, it was actually a girl's name.
okay.
So, and Beatrix means the one who brings joy. So
That's a good name. I like
good.
that.
That's
That
good.
was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So we're excited. It's
Yeah.
coming in April. So
What?
in 95 days,
Got it down to the day.
we do. Which with babies though, they can come in any time.
Yep, they're unpredictable.
They just like when they're ready, they're
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
You know, and they just kind of come out. It's cool. I've got the filter kick a couple times. Just cool.
Oh.
It's one of those things. I almost because the only experience I've had with something living inside of you is Alien. And so, like, when you feel something kicking inside someone else's body, that's not a good thing. And so, when you feel it for yourself and you're like, oh, that's my daughter, it's just like kicking you. You're like, thank you. Cool. So, it's
Bro.
cool, man.
Oh, bro, I'm so excited for you. I mean, just kind of think about it, man. Like, I think that was probably part of the reason why the Lord allowed us to take a break in December
Yeah.
and just, like, kind of reflect because life changes, man.
Dude,
Life shifts.
a ton of life changes. And just thinking about, like, looking forward to the next year. And my wife, she knew me so well. For my birthday, she got me a planner.
Hey,
But not just any planner. Okay, these guys don't sponsor us.
they should, though.
They should, though. Full Focus Planner.
Ooh.
Okay, I actually have it with me.
Yeah. Let me say. Oh, yeah.
So this thing is like,
Bro, I
These-
saw this on Facebook.
these
one
guys
day.
don't sponsor us. They should, but this thing is like, I struggle with anxiety
Yeah.
a lot, especially with things I have to do. This sucker, I have not felt anxious since filling that stuff in.
Really?
So it has like goals. You figure
Yeah.
out. So talking about New Year's resolutions, I have 9 goals this year I want to get done.
Okay.
And they're spread out over quarters. And then you have like your schedule. You do daily pages. Like, what are your top 3 tasks you have to get done that day?
Yeah.
Guys, if you're a planner, if you're a high achiever, if you love this kind of stuff, get this planner. You're like, oh, January 1st is already come and gone. Just get it and just start filling it out. It doesn't matter. Just get it. It works in quarters. Get it for the first quarter and get it for the second quarter.
We're going to tag Full Focus in this
We
podcast.
are. Yes, they are. Just get this focus planner. Guys, this is amazing. Like, literally. I won't stop raving about it. So
that's
I'm only a week into filling this sucker out, and I'm just like, I've gotten so much stuff done. Like, I'm ready. Let's go. So,
Oh, bro, that's so awesome.
yeah. So,
Yeah. I love planning for the future.
yeah.
And I think one of the most helpful thing to do that is to reflect on the past a little bit, have a moment of reflection. That's what my fiance does so well. She reminisces well, and she's like, "You remember this?" I'm like, "No, I don't." I'm always just constantly looking forward.
Yeah.
But there's an old saying like, in order to move forward, you have to learn from the past, or look in the past, or something like that. And I think like for us, man, with this podcast, as we're looking forward to 2019,
Yeah.
and the things that we're bringing in, we'll talk about that in a minute. We have to look back a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at where God has brought us from. So like you said, we started January of 2018
Yeah.
with our very first recording, and just God has done so much with it.
We were just fresh little podcast babies.
So I still feel young.
Yeah.
but
Right. Well, you could just say we're veterans now.
We're
I guess,
almost,
second
yeah.
year, second season.
yeah, bro.
Got renewed.
I got renewed. They're still letting us go and do this thing.
Yeah. God's been good, man. Just like thinking about all the life transitions that happened this year, like having a baby. You're getting engaged. You're getting married this year. Got engaged this year.
Yeah.
Our audio engineer, David, new parent, so wrestling with all those things.
Yeah.
John, our guy who brings the equipment, and JM Films,
Yep.
jmfilms.com,
Drop it.
had his own baby as well.
Yep.
Just like a lot of life transitions happening.
Yeah.
And just think about how God has been so good in providing us these opportunities with the podcast and thinking forward to kind of what we're planning for next year.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking about some of the things that have happened. So we started in January, and we've had about 19 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're a slow going podcast. Let's
Yeah.
just admit that.
Yeah.
Like we got off our schedule. We were trying to post bi-weekly. It just didn't happen. You know why?
Yeah.
Because this sucker takes a long time to do.
Right.
It takes okay, so we're here for like what, 2 hours, 3 hours maybe?
Yeah.
David edits the stuff for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours an episode, maybe a couple hours, and then he gives it to me. I edit that for a couple hours. I have to get everything scheduled on Facebook, YouTube, all the podcast hosting. Got to get the blog written up for the stuff. Takes a couple hours. Got to schedule out social media for that week. It takes a lot of effort to get this sucker done, and
because we're not just sitting down and recording, but we're just about high quality podcasting. Like making sure the sound is good, the video is good, the lighting's good. All that goes into play, and all the hours you talked about that. So, but I think it showed a little bit the work that we put in.
Oh, 100%. Especially with like the quality of guests we got. I mean, we got, looking forward, I got some stats. So looking back, we got 2.6K downloads, 2,600 downloads.
That's crazy.
This last year. It's crazy because most podcasts don't get to 1,000. Which blows my mind that we were able to get to over 2,000 downloads for our first season.
That's crazy, man.
And just God's been so good with that. We got about 25 5-star reviews on iTunes, which, guys, please, right now, stop what you're doing. Well, first, listen to what I have to say, then stop what you're doing. Go on iTunes and give us a 5-star review. Like, legit, this is how people find us on iTunes. You know, they're looking for Christian conversations, or they're looking for Christianity, like top podcasts in the Christianity field or culture field. And the ratings help us get up there, that we get noticed more. And so 25 is awesome, but we want more. So if you haven't yet, it takes like, I don't know, a minute. You know, you don't have to say anything. It's optional. It's in the box. It's optional. You don't have to. Just put 5 stars, put like a little title like, "These guys rock," or something. You don't even have to do that. Just put 5 stars. And then just hit submit. So stop what you're doing. We'll wait. And we're back. Okay, cool. Thank you for giving us the 5-star review on iTunes. We appreciate your support.
How much coffee did you drink before this podcast, bro?
I had 2. Maybe 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
2. I'm feeling good though. I don't know why.
But 2.6 thousand downloads. That's crazy, bro.
It's crazy, and we want more. In fact, one of my goals, triple these downloads. We want to get more people involved in this conversation, and that happens by just a lot of hard work we're putting into this. On Facebook with video, we got over 8,000 minutes watched on Facebook. People watched us for 8,000 minutes.
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know what to do with my hands now.
I know. You're just kind of like, what do I do? No, we, over 8,000 people watched us on Facebook, and we reached, I don't know, because they have like on Facebook, you can see like you either reached people or you engaged people. We reached, a couple thousand more than this. Just with like, they saw our video. Might have been for like a second. But they saw us. They know who we are, at least a little bit. So, those are some of the stats from this past year. So looking back at like, what are some of the cooler moments from this podcast you're thinking of? Like, what are some things that kind of stand out to you as you're looking back?
Man, I think one of the cooler moments for me is when we had Dwayne come on. Dwayne was the dude, man. Like we had guests up to that point, but wasn't he like the first like person
out of
studio guest we ever had, man? I think first of all, Dwayne is like the coolest dude you can ever talk to.
I was texting him this week.
Right. He's like one of the coolest dudes you could ever hang out with, talk to, anything like that. But like he came in with just dropping good biblical knowledge. Saying like, hey, we may not agree on this, but this is what the Bible says, and even if we agree to disagree on open-handed topics, we can still agree that the Word of God is good, and we're called to serve and love a holy God. And and he's been like a mentor to us through this whole podcast journey, man. And so having him on was one of my favorite times.
Dude,
another favorite moment was actually when we had my dad on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. And just having my dad come in and just speak gospel truth that, I grew up listening to that, and when you're younger, you're like, man, this is boring or whatnot. But then God saves you, and then you grow into your faith, and you're like, you know what you're saying is right. Let me bring you on to chop it up a little bit. And so I think that was one of my favorite moments.
Papa Bryant. Bringing the truth.
I had a lot of these moments, bro.
I know. Like, we had so many. We had... I don't want to forget anybody. We had Dwayne, we had Trillia, had Matthew Hall. who else did we have? Oh, we had David Van Drunen on.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry if I've forgotten anybody. It's just hard to think of all the people we've had on.
Bro, yeah.
But we've just been so blessed by everybody who's liked it, who's shared this podcast, who's come on this podcast to have conversations with us. We had 3 amazing sponsors for this past year, Crossway, Switch, and JM Films. And just hoping to continue those partnerships and seeing where that can take us.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, it's been so good to be in there. I think also it's also been a challenge, man. So like, I want to ask you this question: what has been something that the Lord has used this podcast to sanctify you in?
He's definitely used this podcast a lot to strengthen or just expose my weakness in how I address certain issues. And it's been very helpful in that area because you have one understanding coming into a conversation, right?
Yeah.
And have someone else come in who is much more knowledgeable than you about this topic and is able to bring a different perspective to a conversation. You're like, oh, I hadn't thought about that before. And it kind of changes your mind a little bit, or it just kind of sharpens and refines how you talk about those things.
Yeah.
And I think the Lord was kind of poking holes in how I've seen those issues and how I talk about those issues.
Yeah.
I think he's really just impressed on my heart the need for kindness and the need for grace, pursuing truth, absolutely, but just having grace and the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these conversations. I think that's something he's really convicted me of and pushed on my heart, especially this past year.
Yeah, man, that's good.
What about you?
Man, I think in a similar way, he's challenged me to be more gracious in these conversations, more particularly the conversation about racial reconciliation.
Sure.
Inviting people into those conversations, willing to hear what they have to say. I think the grace piece plays a little bit more in the fact that I read a lot more this past year on the topics, and I'm not reading just like Christian articles. I'm reading like New York Times and sometimes even BuzzFeed to see what some other people are saying, you know, just trying to get the full perspective and being able to draw a conclusion, like asking good questions.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what the Lord has really sanctified me. And it's like, hey, like get as much of the full story as you possibly can, and then bring that full story to the Word of God and let the Word of God define that viewpoint for you. And so I think that's been the
especially like asking better questions.
Oh yeah,
it has been so beneficial and so helpful. Like just being able to know like, that's not a good question, and just kind of rethinking it. You know, someone who's kind of like, black people are always like this. Isn't that right? I don't know. Ask a better question, dude. Like, let's go deeper with this. Like, why are you thinking that way? Yeah. Just there's layers, you know, like an onion, as Shrek would say.
Oh yeah, don't get me doing my Shrek. Yeah, I think
I actually want to see the Shrek impression.
No, I don't lie.
Okay,
as friends, I'll show you. I won't put that on Facebook.
Okay.
I think one of the favorite moments I would have in any conversation, not only on the podcast but in life, is when someone says, "Oh, that's a really good question."
Oh yeah.
That means we ask a question that typically isn't asked.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I think a lot of questions, specifically with racial conversations, are more geared to try to like corner a person to make them surrender to your side, or like kind of direct the conversation.
Or pointed.
Yeah, exactly, pointed. But us asking questions are more like, hey, like, what is the full perspective of this, or what do you think about this idea?
Yeah.
Like, not asking this question because I disagree with you necessarily, but I want you to hear your thoughts on this perspective.
Yeah.
I think those questions invite more people in than a more poignant question would. And so, like this past year, we had several of our guests like, man, that's a good question. That's a great question. That's a good question. And I was like, okay, like this is what we're
moving forward.
This is good. You know? And so, yeah, man, I think that's been one of the most sanctifying pieces, man, is just learning to ask good questions. Yeah. You know, I want to carry that through 2019 as well.
Dude, absolutely. Speaking of 2019, we've got some stuff coming up.
Bro.
So, looking ahead, obviously we want to make this podcast the quality that it is. And we've kind of already talked to you about all the work that goes into each episode.
Absolutely.
And kind of thinking ahead towards the life transitions that's happening. Yeah. So, obviously, all of us are going to be busy. I'm going to have a kid in 3 months. That I don't have right now, and that's going to just create a whole another level of complexity when scheduling stuff out. And this is a big production. Like this is literally a studio in our church. We can access anytime we want to, but it's in a studio. Got to set up lights, camera, edit audio, edit video, post, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so we were thinking like, man, we were tired. At the end of it. Like once 2018 hit, we hit December, like we were just tired. Yeah. And just talking through ways that we can figure out how to not make us tired and help us to have joy in the things that we're doing. Yeah. the way that we figure that out is that we are no longer doing bi-weekly episodes.
Yeah.
Which, granted, bi-weekly episodes might get us more downloads, might get us more reach, but for our own sanity,
and for better quality.
And for better quality conversation, we're moving to monthly episodes.
Yeah.
So by God's grace, the first Monday of every month, we're going to drop a new episode.
Yep.
Just look out for that. It might be the first Monday, and depending on what happens second Monday, who knows? I have no idea what's going to happen, but we're aiming for that. That's our goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
First Monday every month, we're going to be posting a new episode, and we're kind of changing our focus a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about what was our focus in 2018, and what is our focus in 2019?
Yeah. We sat down and talked about it at one of our favorite coffee shops. And like 2018, if anyone's been rocking with us since the beginning, or at least halfway through, our conversations have been mainly focused on how do we talk about racial reconciliation or ethnic reconciliation through a biblical perspective, which is a very important topic, and conversations need to continue, absolutely. But as we were sitting there talking and thinking through this past year, one of the things that kind of struck us, and I'm talking about not just you and me, but also like our entire crew, like our sound guy, our production, our producer, the Nick, sitting down and talk with John and JM Films.
Yeah.
One of the things we realized is we can't continue to talk about this conversation, but there's so much more that's tied to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that's happening in the world, and we want to be able to approach those things from a biblical perspective as well.
Yeah.
And so instead of making more of a, if I could use the term, niche conversation, we want to expand out to more of a broader topic range of cultural issues, more particularly cultural issues that can affect or will affect the church in some aspect or another.
Yeah.
So like kind of tied to like, okay, racial reconciliation is definitely important, but tied to that is this idea of justice or social justice. And at the end of the year, we kind of started to talk more about that. And we were just like, well, let's talk about justice in general. Like, what is justice like in the Bible? Yeah. And then how does the biblical perspective of justice apply to sexuality? Well, how does it apply to marriage and complementarianism? How does justice apply to, or how does culture define whatever topic it may be? Yeah. And we need to talk about those things as they're coming up. And so switching the focus from just racial conversations to a cultural and justice conversations allows us to do that better.
Yeah, so kind of looking forward towards 2019, looking at specifically our goal for 2019, it's to model what it looks like to have a conversation about cultural issues, how they relate to the gospel, and what we can practically do about them. So I think we're shifting our focus a little bit. Yeah. We started out being about racial reconciliation, but I think towards the end of last year, we discovered this is a bigger conversation than racial reconciliation. Yeah, man. And we want to bring people inside of that conversation. Yeah. Especially related to issues of justice, but not only justice. We want to bring in people to talk about sexuality, gender, creativity. Yeah. We want to bring people in to talk about immigration. Literally any kind of cultural issue you can think of, we want to have a conversation about it. Absolutely. And not just between Matt and I, but with people who are knowledgeable about those things and just asking questions that people maybe wouldn't normally ask or maybe are too afraid to ask. Yeah. Or just want answers about, but they haven't gotten them yet. Yeah. I think that's going to be super helpful for us moving forward is that, we're not going to debate. Our goal isn't to debate anybody. We don't want to scare people away from coming on the show. Yeah. But we just want to have an honest conversation. And it's like, hey, let's sit down, let's have some coffee. Yeah. And let's just talk about some hard stuff. Yeah. And see how the gospel can apply to those different things and what we can practically do about those things. Yeah. And I think that's what's missing from a lot of podcasts today is the practical step forward. Yeah. And how we can move forward in light of what we have just learned. Yeah, man. And so we're going to have guests on that you might disagree with. Yeah. We're going to have guests on that you and I have disagreed with. In fact, the next episode after this is going to be the one we did with Josh Bice about social justice. That's been a delay in getting that done. We had some technical issues. Yeah. But it's finally coming out. Look for that first Monday of February. We're going to release part 1 and then part 2. Yeah. Where we disagreed with him on the issue of social justice. And you can tell in the podcast, we disagreed with him. Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. We're brothers in Christ, and we want to try to move the conversation forward in truth and in grace. And I think that's what we're going to try to model this year is we're going to have guests on that might be a little controversial. They might say some pretty controversial things. We're in conversations with Kyle Howard and Dr. Paul Maxwell to come on and talk about some pretty difficult issues.
Yeah, man.
And it might push some buttons, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what we want,
Well, that's
right?
the church.
That's the church.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is the church, and that's what our goal is. And that's kind of what we're moving forward in this year.
Yeah. I mean, our goals haven't changed. Our goals may have changed, like our focus may have changed, but our purpose hasn't. And that's
No.
to change the narrative one cup of coffee at a time.
Yeah.
You know, and we started out with that podcast. Just like, let's talk about a hard issue that people have a hard time agreeing with or seeing eye to eye on and seeing how the Bible allows us to talk about these things. And now we're taking the same focus, but broadening it out just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like there was it's like a piece of artwork. I always use this example, but I love it.
All right, do it.
I love artwork. All right, and so if you go to the art museum, you can get. I mean, they have the line that says "Don't cross that," but you know what I'm saying, like you got to be a little rebellious and like put the toe across. But like if you get close enough to a piece of artwork, you can just see like the little dots, like the little one.
Yeah.
But if you pull back out, you can see a broader picture, and you got to start to understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're kind of doing with this podcast. Like, so man, I'm excited for 2019.
You just compared us to fine art, and I dig it.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like Rembrandt, you know?
Like Picasso,
bro.
Right?
Leonardo,
You know.
Donatello. I'm just listening to Turtles right now.
Yeah, Michelangelo.
You know what I'm saying?
What are the other turtles' names?
Raphael.
Yeah,
it's Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael.
I didn't watch the show, so I didn't.
Bro, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Does the Michael Bay movie count?
No, not at all. But
was that Michael Bay? I don't know.
That's gonna be a controversial topic. Is he a director or not? No. Okay. I'm strong about that, man.
Okay.
He was fine with the first Transformers, but after that, done.
Okay. So, have you seen the new Bumblebee movie yet?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I just didn't know if you had seen it yet. Looked fun.
Wait.
It's a car.
Yeah.
Transformers.
So speaking of transforming, we're transforming back to our focus.
Yeah, so our focus, so this is exciting. So that's our focus for this year.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. And we want you guys to prayerfully come alongside us with that.
Yeah.
And, we're looking forward towards fundraising in the next couple of months. And we would love for you guys to partner with us to help fund our website, our audio hosting, and even to get guests on the show.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be our big focus for this next year is our once a month podcast. We're going to try to get some pretty high quality guests on.
Yeah.
That's going to be our focus over the next couple months is getting into those high quality spaces.
Yeah.
We can have really good guests on the top who are knowledgeable about these topics and get their insight on it.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to that. But another way you can support us.
Hey.
We got shirts. We're gear. We're on just shirt now.
First of all, Jake, you worked hard on these shirts, man.
Oh gosh.
Bro, they look fire.
Yeah. So this is a lady shirt.
It's not mine, yo.
No. Yeah. No, this is your goal. This is your goal.
This is my goal. It's my goal. That's my goal. No, I'm not going to talk about that song. I can't do that.
No. So we've officially launched our gear store. I'm gonna pull up the web address for it.
Mm-hmm.
The web address. What's the URL? The URL is Etsy. Yeah, we're on Etsy.
Yeah,
don't judge.
No.
Etsy.com.
All right, you can judge all you want. We're not changing.
Yeah, no.
We're changing the narrative.
Etsy.com/shop/coffee and cream gear.
Mm-hmm.
Etsy.com/shop/coffee and cream gear.
It's gonna be right there at the bottom of your screen.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I always wanted to do that.
Right here. Yeah. Right here.
Right here.
Right here.
This link right here.
Yeah. So we are offering a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So we're offering shirts that not only have our logo, but have the change the narrative wording on it, which is super cool. We have snapbacks, we have hoodies, we have dad hats, that we're just starting out with those. And
my dad already bought his dad hat, actually.
He got a snapback, actually.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
He might return that. We'll see what happens. No, actually, no, he does rock snapbacks. He does. Okay, I'll give him time. All right.
That's good stuff.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, we got a couple orders already, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve figuring out production and all that stuff, but Dwayne's actually been a huge help in that. So shout out to Dwayne.
Yeah.
For our podcast.
Oh, wait, by the way, today on the 5th is his birthday.
Yeah, it is his birthday.
Yeah. So happy birthday to Dwayne.
A little bit late.
A little bit late, but, when you hear this on this recording day, we're saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
And you probably should get a text from both of us, too.
He'll look back and just be like, you guys. So this is really cool. And people, normally when you go to a podcast, the shirts might be like $20. These are like $25, but it's only because these shirts are actually really high quality shirts.
Yeah, bro.
These are tri-blend canvas shirts. Mm-hmm. See the theme of quality. We got quality video, quality audio, quality shirts. We're not skipping on quality.
You can't skip it.
Not in the 100% cotton stuff. This is tri-blend. Might be a little thinner, but it's awesome.
It's breathable.
It's breathable.
Yeah.
It's breathable. I will say for the ladies, get a size up or maybe 2 sizes up. These run a little bit small for ladies, but other than that,
guys, for you, get a size bigger. I'm just saying.
this is a medium. I don't normally wear mediums.
Well, I usually wear a 2X, but it felt like it was my skin at first. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm really sorry, dude. I'm really sorry.
That's okay. Like you never. I don't know. I was peeling off a layer. I felt like a snake shedding its skin a little bit. It was just weird. It felt. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, you might want to look at a size bigger, guys, just in case. Especially if you're a bigger dude.
Yeah.
Check out bigger size.
Yeah, we have bigger sizes. We have up to 3 or 4XL for dudes and 2XL for ladies. So check that out.
Yeah, that's good, man.
So we have gear.
It's so awesome, bro.
And we get a little bit of the profit for that too. And we line it out in our blog what that's going to go to. It's going to go to audio hosting, website. It's going to go to getting guests on the podcast, and it's also going to go to marketing on social media.
Yep.
So just so you're clear, we're not pocketing any of the money yet. Nope. Not yet. We'll let you know, but not yet. This is all going to go to the podcast, making sure you guys are getting the best quality conversations and the best quality gear we can offer.
Yeah. So essentially, they're helping us continue to change the narrative. Ooh, okay.
Hey. That's it.
That's
it. Yeah. So also looking ahead, we have a cool sponsor. I don't know if we can announce them quite yet. They're not signed on yet.
Not yet. We're working on some details. I'm going to have a conversation with them. I'm trying to get a phone call with them.
Yeah, but we're going to have a really cool sponsor on for this coming year that will be able to offer us some really cool giveaway stuff.
I'm so excited about
It's going to be so cool. We're excited for that. So I think that's all I got for 2019, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're just keep on plugging along. We're going to be praying this entire year, though.
Yeah.
That the Lord continue to bless us through this podcast and bless this podcast to be a blessing to other people.
Yeah.
There's blessings everywhere, man. Just
Absolutely.
blessings everywhere.
Yeah. And if you have any guests you would love to see on, any topics you would want us to cover, comments, send us a message. We're going to see them pretty quickly. Send us an email. Give us a contact info thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Go on our website, contact us. And just send us an email on topics you want us to cover, or if you have connections to guests, let us know.
Yeah.
We're always interested in that.
Yeah,
so, yeah. Lot to look forward to, dude.
Bro, I'm so pumped for it.
God's going to do some awesome stuff. We're praying ahead of this, and we're asking you guys to pray along with us. We're hoping to dive into some pretty controversial stuff, and we need the Lord's help and the Lord's guidance in all of these things. And we want to push a different narrative than the one that we're getting from mainstream outlets. We want to push a different narrative you're seeing on mainstream either campuses or in your city, wherever it is. We want to push a different narrative.
Yeah.
We want to push God's narrative. We want to push one that promotes unity. We want to pursue a narrative that promotes truth and grace and is seasoned with brotherly affection for one another.
Amen.
And so that's our goal. That's what we're aiming for. And we hope that you join us on this journey in 2019 for Coffee and Cream.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
So that's all I got. You got anything else to say, bro?
No, man. Let's get some coffee going and start this life up again. And pray to God to do awesome things with us this year, man.
Absolutely. So again, you can like and leave us a review on iTunes. You can head on over to our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page. You go on our website, coffeeandcreampodcast.com. There you can order some gear, check out our blog. Hopefully going to start putting some more blog content out there soon. That'd be really cool. And yeah, so we want to give a huge shout out to our audio mixer, David Butler. I want to give a huge shout out to our producer, Nick Francis, and for John Morgan for lending us his gear. So check him out at jmfilms.com for all your film and video needs. So there we go. So guys, we will see you guys again at the beginning of February, where we'll be pushing the episode with Josh Bice. So until then, guys, we'll see you next month.